This is what we woke up to this morning until the camera adjusts there.
No!
We have a winter wonderland.
Oh, look at that. That's like snowballs. Watch out! There you go, buddy. Uh-oh. I jumped.
No, don't throw it at me. Oh no, you jumped. Ah! Hello my friends, welcome back here to my kitchen. Thought we'd hang out for a little bit today, just a real short and sweet video for you. Sharing just a couple things. We had our first snowfall of the season. It was beautiful. It was also very short-lived. It melted by the end of the day, but we did get 3 inches. It's just, it transitioned to rain and the temp warmed up and it didn't last very long, but the kids enjoyed it while it was here. We are making some scones today. I am going to share with you a little thrift haul. We're going to talk flowers a little bit too, so just all of the little lovely things. So I will have the scone recipe down in the description. I am making cranberry orange scones, one of my favorites this time of year. And I did go ahead and I made these gluten-free. I don't do anything fancy. I just use a 1-to-1 gluten-free baking flour, so you can switch that up where needed. I'm just gonna brush these with some more heavy cream and get them in the oven. So now we're gonna move on to planting some flowers for indoor blooms. I've always wanted to do this. So first I have to go and brave the cold and the wind. I'm gonna leave you here, but I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. I have what I need. We're gonna plant some paper whites. They're in the daffodil family. They're very easy to force indoors to bloom throughout the winter. So I just have a couple here. I saw them, I was at my local greenhouse, and they had paper whites and they had like the amaryllis bulbs. They were very expensive though, so I didn't get an amaryllis. I'm sure you could get them way cheaper at like Walmart or Lowe's or Home Depot, but I wasn't there. I was at the greenhouse. So I did just grab 5 of these little paper white bulbs. They were $1 a piece. So I have a shallow container here. Let me bring the camera closer. So I just have this little container here. It doesn't have to be super deep. You can use either some small stones or you could use some soil. I'm just using stones because I have that and I don't have a bag of soil here. So I have just a small layer here, and I'm gonna put these, you wanna make sure you put them pointy side up in here. This one you can see it's already starting to grow. Okay, so I have those tucked in there. Now I'm just gonna add some more gravel. You don't want them completely covered, you want the pointy bits sticking out. Okay, that should be good. I'm gonna put a little bit of moss on the top here as well. So I can actually take off just a couple pieces here. So when watering these, you want to make sure you never submerge them in water. Only fill water to right about the base of these bulbs, or else they will rot. Just gonna put some little pieces of moss around them. Again, not covering them completely. Making sure these tips here stay out. Okay, these are all finished. Super easy to throw together. I have about 1/2 inch of water in the base of this container, and I'm gonna make sure it stays that way. Again, you wanna make sure you don't have water too high. They will rot, but you also don't want them to dry out. The moss is totally not necessary, but I liked the way it looked, so we have moss. So hopefully, I started these in enough time that perhaps we'll have some blooms by Christmas. It takes anywhere from 4 to 6 weeks. We have about 5 weeks until Christmas from today. So we will see, but you can also stagger plant these. You could have a couple different containers going, or you can just add more bulbs for continued blooms. Once these bloom, they bloom once. The bloom will last for about 7 to 14 days, so a week or two. But it's just a beautiful reminder that spring is gonna come again, and just for some life and some color in the home. I love flowers, so I thought this would be a fun little thing to do this year. Okay, I think I found a location to film where I'm not giving away too much of my Christmas decor. I have my Christmas special coming out not the Friday after Thanksgiving, the following Friday. So stay tuned for that, where we decorate together. I've been having a lot of fun just taking my time, slowly getting everything how I want it. So I am excited to share that with you all. But we're gonna go over some of my most recent thrift hauls. Not like a ton of stuff. My mom and I went a week ago to a local place and found just a couple things there, but some things I'm gonna incorporate into my Christmas decor. And then I got to go antiquing with my mom and my dad. My dad had a week of vacation, and the 3 of us, as well as the 2 kiddos, we went to like the Hershey Anvil area, and we hit up a couple antique shops there and just got a few more things. And then today I went with my mom after church, and we went to another local antique place, which is right near our church, and my mom lives like 2 minutes from the church as well. So I'm gonna show you what we got from those 3 places. Okay, we'll start with the first location. I'll keep everything grouped by location. So I found this beautiful hand-thrown mug. I always look for pottery. This one caught my eye because of the handle. How they have it. Oh, focus for me, please. You see how they have the handle there fastened to the rest of the mug? Just thought that was really intriguing and beautiful. I loved the color, I loved the shape of it. It's a bit bigger. Now I don't remember the prices on everything, but I think this was $8. Oh, it's not gonna focus again. Oh, come on camera, do your job. Yeah, so $8 for this. I love it. I found this cute little scalloped shelf, which I loved. I need to repaint it. I don't know if I'm gonna paint it or if I'm going to stain it, but we will see. It does have a little spot here for like a plate and like a teacup or something. Thought that was super cute. I think this one was $5. And speaking of teacup, I found this teeny tiny one that had a little poinsettia on it. And I loved it. And it has a little gold rim, just a plain little saucer. But I thought it was sweet, and it was $1, so it came home with me. This next thing I've been wanting to find for a while, and that is some little Christmas glasses. I thought these were super pretty. Some more poinsettias and some like pine branches. So this was a set of 4, I believe, for $8. So I got these and these here. So these will just get set out as functional Christmas decor. I love displaying these things, but then also being able to use them. Another Christmas find, these holly plates with the gold rims. This was a set of 5 for $5. So these are gonna get put out on display as well over in my kitchen. So that's everything I got from the first location. Now these next 2 things weren't actually from the antique store at all, but I have them sitting here because I loved them. This little guy I just got from Amazon, but I've been looking for an olive oil dispenser that looks vintage, antique, and this checked all the boxes for me, so isn't that fun? Just this little vessel here for housing my olive oil. This is my newest indoor plant baby. I had to rescue it from the clearance section where it was going to be left to die. So I got this for like, I think $6. It is a lemon meringue pothos. And if it'll focus on it here, I love the color variation in here. Pothos is really the only type of indoor plant that does really well for me in my house. My house is just super dry because of the coal heat. I know a lot of the indoor plants really like that humid environment, and I try to mist them and help them, but these are the only ones that seem to not die on me or don't give me a really hard time. So I have a lot of pothos in my house. Okay, second location with mom and dad. I got this cowbell. I don't really know why. It spoke to me and I had to have it, and I think it was like $3. So came home with me, definitely works, and my dad and my mom said, well, I can use this to call the children in when it's time to come in for dinner. So perhaps that's what it will be used for, but for now it's sitting on a shelf. So one of the reasons we decided to go antiquing that day is because I was looking for a few things to display on my mantle for my Christmas video. I had, just something envisioned, and I wanted to see if I could find those things. So I was looking for an ironstone, like white pitcher. We went all over the place, and I couldn't find a single white pitcher anywhere. I did find this though. It's almost like a stoneware, I guess, pottery type pitcher. It really is beautiful. It has this brown, this glazing on it, and it was the size that I wanted. And I'm glad I got it. I will definitely use this. I can see lots of flower arrangements from the garden in it. I don't think there was any maker's mark or anything, but I do really like this. But you'll see I found something else today in a moment. When I'm at antique stores, I always go through all of the scrap fabrics. There's always a few stands that have, or a few booths, whatever you want to call them, that have scrap fabric. So I found some. This is just, I think, all 100% cotton. I am going to use these for making beeswax wraps for kind of like in place of saran wrap. So I got a few different pieces here. They were all like $1 to $1.50 a piece, all different amounts of fabric. So I got that one. I'm going to focus this one and this one. This one has little mushrooms on it, which I thought was cute. I'm a sucker for anything floral. And the last thing I got wasn't this poinsettia, but isn't that a beautiful poinsettia? And yes, it is real. I just have it sitting in this pot. I got that from the greenhouse when I got the paper whites. I got this, oh, fiddle, stop focusing on my face. I got this pot here, which I just thought was really lovely. I loved the design on it. I loved the color. So for now, it is housing this flower, but I'll use it out in the garden once garden season comes around again. I forgot that was not the last thing from those shops. These are. I was looking for some vintage books that were like pinks, reds, and greens to put on my mantle for Christmas. So just a variety of different books here. I don't know if any of them are actually like well known. This one is Peter Rabbit. I tried to look for ones that maybe we'd actually like the books. Woo! Like the books, but it seemed all of the books that I'd actually want to read were very expensive. There was an Anne of Green Gables that was absolutely beautiful. The binding was beautiful, very ornate, but it was like $40. And I'm like, I can't do that as much as I wanted to. I wanted that one. I can't do that for something to just sit on my mantle like that. So these all range from like $2 to $4 a book. But I love them. I will use these year after year, and I'm sure I can find other seasons to use them in as well. That leaves what I found today with my mom, and my sister-in-law was there with us as well. So this little guy was another thing that just called to me. I thought this would be super cute with a little red velvet bow around its neck, put on display for Christmas. So this is actually die cast, and then there is actual like wool on top of it, and I just thought it was such a cute little sheep. So within the first 5 minutes of being at this antique store, I found the thing that I searched high and low for the other day, and that is an ironstone pitcher. This is exactly what I had envisioned for my mantle. Not totally sure now which one I'm going to use because I like both of them, but we will see. So this one is stamped ironstone, made in England. Beautiful details. I love the scalloping. Ooh, focus on that. The scalloping up here. I loved the handle. Just a beautiful white pitcher, and of course this is going to be perfect for all of the flowers from the garden. This I was super excited to find. I love vintage antique tablecloths, and I don't have one for Christmas, and this one will fit my table perfectly. I loved the colors and the design, all of these gold berries and different shaped green leaves. I haven't been saying the prices, I keep forgetting, and honestly, the ironstone pitcher was a bit of a splurge. That was $30. This was $20. The sheep I think was $12. But I try to only buy the things that I'm just like absolutely in love with, that I can use over and over, and I know I'll keep coming back to this, and that ironstone pitcher is going to get some use as soon as the flowers start growing. All right, the last item I have to share with you is this hefty antique stool that I found. It is not very often that you find antique stools that feel like they can withstand children or any sort of weight on them. This thing is built solid and it is heavy, probably like 15, maybe even 20 pounds. It is solid. I was really excited about this. We have one in the bathroom for the kids, but it's not quite tall enough, and honestly it doesn't feel overly sturdy. So that one is gonna get retired and we're gonna use this one instead. So beautiful antique stool. I finished off these cranberry orange scones with an orange glaze. Delicious. Again, you can find that recipe down in the description. Thank you, friend, for hanging out with me today. I hope you enjoyed this Mod Podge of thrifting and baking and flowers and all the lovely things. You have a blessed week. Until next time, take care.